Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the podcast Printing's Alive with me, your host, Warren Werbitt. Today, we have another distinguished guest. Yes, all my guests are distinguished. Anybody in this industry is distinguished and out of their mind. But it's always fun. So we have Davis, I'm going to get it right, Sligo.
Close, Slagle.
Fuck, I practiced too much before. And Davis is from BeeGraphix. Welcome, Davis.
Thank you, Warren. Appreciate you having me today.
Good to have you. So Davis is another person from Printing United that was on the All-Star team that was put together to promote Printing United, and they took the best of us in all different areas. So I had some time during Printing United to get to know Davis a little better, and good time was had by all, of course. So tell us a little bit about BeeGraphix.
Yeah, so we're a 20-year-old custom apparel decorator out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we've had some very humbling beginnings that most people probably can relate to. A typical mom and pop screen print and vinyl cut shop that when COVID hit, we got crushed and had to really make a change, had to reinvent ourselves a bit differently. And we were one of the first ones in the United States to bring in direct-to-film printing, which then led us to really growing a e-commerce presence, and not through our own brand all the time, but through our partners. So we have about 2,000 web stores across the United States.
Wow.
That all sell custom apparel, embroidered goods, printed goods, lasered items. And that's on top of what we do with like traditional bulk business of selling uniforms and shirts and trinkets to businesses. So we have a really nice ecosystem, and it's absolutely taken off since we kind of had that focus switch in late 2020.
Cool. Okay, so tell us a little bit before COVID what was happening and how you were doing it, and then give us the switch over and what you moved into and what the differences are between.
Sure. So we were a traditional screen printer. We had one automatic, one manual screen print press, a manual screen room. We had ink everywhere. We we had shirts that would get burned. We were on average an average screen print shop at best, right? Simple 1-2 color designs, 10-day, 12-day production leads. And we realized that didn't really work when there wasn't any bulk orders coming in. And the only way people were shopping during COVID was on the internet. We couldn't sell to those people. We couldn't print one shirt at a time. And that led us to finding and me staying up throughout the middle of the night for quite a few months and learning Mandarin. Some of the first DTF printers with some of really bad technology and really bad consumables, and just getting early in that understanding of this direct-to-film technology. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it is a transfer that's printed on a film and cured and then applied with a heat press. And since then, it's been all about sales, growth, artwork, automation, processes, all the things that come with the digital process, the digital transformation. We have really learned and adapted in those last 5 years.
Wow. So it's pretty cool stuff. So I just, if you didn't catch any of my other podcasts, I just opened up a t-shirt shop online, the printwhisper.shop. And I will tell you, I am learning a whole lot of stuff coming from the, commercial label packaging and mailing market. And wow, there's as much stuff to know on that side as there is on the other side. And I mean, I buy 50 t-shirts a year between the fishing and the concerts and the whatever I go to. But only at Printing United did it hit me how big the apparel printing market really is.
It was crazy at Printing United alone, in the growth we're seeing on the apparel side versus the commercial printing side. If you look at their trajectories, apparel is going upwards. Commercial is staying flat, maybe a little bit up if I'm not correct.
You're being nice, but yeah,
somewhere in that realm. And so what are people trying to do now? Well, they're trying to go capture some of that market share, which then the more people you bring in the apparel side, competition's a little harder. Price competition may increase, right? There's different aspects to
Sorry,
that.
before I forget, as far as price competition goes, this is my message to everybody. There's no reason to keep discounting to get the orders to beat your competition. Okay? Take what it costs you, double it, whatever. You need to make your money. The consumer does not have to win. The end user does not have to win. They just have to get something comfortable, and it's all comfortable because you know it's comfortable and appreciate it. Um, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I'm just so tired of everybody lowering a buck or two or five or 10, and it doesn't help anybody. And the buyer doesn't matter to him either or her, right?
Yeah, so
That was my little commercial for keeping your prices up.
there's two parts of that, right? And I'm all for not offering discounts on certain things, but there's also markets that if you want to play ball in, you have to be in the price point. And in order to play ball in that market, you have to have your costs locked in, your processes locked in, so you know down to the penny what it cost you to make it. So when you sell it for a 35% margin, you're making that 35% margin, not 27% because you don't know your
Or
numbers.
less. And if you don't know what you're doing, put it into AI and say, I want to make 35% gross on my product. Don't mark, because if you mark it up 35 and subtract backwards, you're earning less.
Exactly.
Right? So, wow. And so give me an idea of what kind of customers you have. Is it businesses that are setting up their own storefronts? Is it printers for other people?
It is all over the place, and that's by design. Why I say that's by design is we never wanted to get too reliant on one type of customer or industry. We always wanted to say if customer X is always high and they have a really bad year, well, we have 75% of our revenue share that isn't down. So we're never getting crushed by,
The
for example,
times.
during COVID, youth sports were canceled, right? Well, if you were 100% in the youth sports apparel industry, that was a really, really bad year because there were no teams. So nobody bought jerseys or no fans bought fan gear. And that was really, really bad, right? So, but who was buying? Companies that had remote employees, um, people that were first responders that needed gear, healthcare, um, the what's the necessary workers, right? People that are food delivery, all of those things, they still needed gear, but we were selling there, but we were selling no teamwear. So we have positioned ourselves very strategically in different markets to offset that.
No, I like that. It's even when we were in print, actually we had a rule when we were in print that no customer should be more than 10% of our sales. So if they were going up, we would just go out and beat the reps to go find new customers to lower it because you're not really going to turn away business, right? But it's a constant challenge to keep finding, and having different markets means you're busier and quieter at different times of the year. So you fill in the blanks. So you have like that running, I won't say flatline because you're dead, but you've got that consistent
Yeah.
model for production and sales. So it's
Yep.
pretty cool. You know
And
how
we see that in our industry. Peaks of back if fall back to school would peak in apparel. But what did we do in July? So we were looking for events that would pick up our Julys to bring that closer to what August was. So I didn't have to lay staff off or bring staff back on for peak seasons. We were always trying to bring that to a closer even. You have peaks. Going into Christmas is always a peak, no matter who's buying. But you want to be prepared for that as much as possible and trained up.
Yeah, I hear everybody now talking about getting ramped up for all their print on demand and get it done. And the thing that I want to remind everybody buying stuff online is the weakest link is the transport, right? Which kind of sucks. I had someone call me the other day because a t-shirt took an extra 2 days, and I'm like, dude, I don't drive the truck. If I could, I'd go out and find it, but you'll have it in a day. You gotta try to work the customer to let them know it's in the range. But nobody screams at Amazon that they're 2 days now and not one anymore, right?
They're 2 days most places. Well, unless you're in a major metro city, they're 2 day.
If they have everything.
Yeah, if they have it in stock.
Wow.
So they've quietly gotten slower and nobody said a word.
Then they haven't dropped their Prime charges either.
No, I think those went up too.
Yeah, they went up, and now they got commercials on Prime Video. But anyways, tell us a little bit about your operation. Like, how do you operate? What are you running? Not exactly, because I'm not asking you to tell proprietary information.
Sure.
But, just give us an idea.
We're a staff of 30. We have from salespeople to marketing to design, accounting, purchasing, and production. We're doing in-house print with transfers and heat presses. We're doing in-house embroidery, and we're also doing in-house laser engraving. We do those for single piece orders and or bulk orders. And we also contract a lot of work from screen printing to sublimation, signs, promotional products. I think that covers just about everything.
Yeah. So when you're doing t-shirts, how many t-shirts can you do in an hour? Like, it's a world I don't even know, right? Like, is it one? And then at the show, I mean, I've seen Cornet's equipment in action live, like in Drupa and stuff. And then I saw the silk screening with the 20 tables that go in the circle and around, and like, it looks a little rudimentary.
So it's a loaded question, right? And when you say how many t-shirts can you do an hour, is that 20 or how many individual t-shirts with individual artworks can you do an hour, or is that how many of the same thing, step and repeat?
Okay, first I'll go with the same thing, step and repeat.
Okay. Two people in a press can print about 220 shirts an hour at our office with a heat press.
And is that one machine?
That's a rotating heat press. Yep.
That's like the circular thing where it goes in circles. And that's for silk. Is that a one color? Like, I don't even know. Is that a one color machine, a 5 color? How does silk work?
That would not be a silk. That would not be it would be a transfer printing, heat transfer. And it would be as many colors as in one location. So it's a full color. Screen printing probably gets much higher than that. To tell you what they're printing an hour, I couldn't even answer that honestly because we haven't done it in 4 years.
Right.
So their speeds are much higher because it's a much more automated process. Where we have a dwell time with a heat press, they don't. They pull a squeegee in 4 seconds and it goes.
And they have to put that through a dryer of sorts?
Yes, so everything's printed on a rotating press. If it's screen printed, it gets pulled off and set on a dryer and then cures as it goes through an oven.
Cool.
And your shirts on your website are not being printed like that.
Sorry?
Your shirts on your website are not being printed like that.
No, mine are one-ups. They're done on probably a Cornet machine or something, right?
Correct, and then probably going through a curing oven afterwards with the QR code and gets individually bagged and items like that.
So personally, my best t-shirts actually were probably silkscreen in the old days with the Grateful Dead t-shirts that I always bought. Mm-hmm. Now I'm noticing the t-shirts have these transfers on them that aren't as comfortable, maybe a little sweaty. The price of the t-shirt's still $50-$60 at the show, but they're doing them differently. So what decision, or what causes someone, I don't know if it's the right word, but how does someone make a decision on which process to go to?
So 95% of the customers in the world don't know nor care how a shirt is printed. The good decorators suggest based off the artwork. Whether it's a simple logo or if there's something showing through in the design and they're incorporating the shirt coming through, that gives you the ability to choose which method you want to decorate. I don't necessarily care how things are printed. I am not favorable to screen print, to transfer, or to direct to garment. I think they're all just a tool in the toolbox. When done well at all levels, shouldn't matter one bit. It's all about how much time do you have to do it, what cost do you need it done at, and what quality output are you looking for? How many colors, how many locations, what is your outcome when selling drives which production method you're going to use. And the customer should never know that unless they're specifically asking.
Yeah, so we were like that in print, where it wasn't their business if it was commercial or digital, as long as we got it out and it looked good. But I asked because I notice a big difference in the shirts, and I'm not a transfer guy. I find the silk or the print right on just to be more comfortable, and the shirt could move around a little differently. And if it's no transfer, it doesn't make noise when you fold it.
That's just a bad design transfer.
Is it?
Yeah.
So they all shouldn't be like that.
Ink.
Sorry?
Way too much ink in the artwork. So they should be
is that it?
Free. That's it.
So I should give them another chance?
Yes, or pick somebody else to
well, I'm good to, if you tell me that, I'm good to give them a chance, because I think everyone's entitled to a second chance, especially if they didn't know because I didn't call to tell them I wasn't happy.
Your shirt right now that you have on
is nice,
we could print it. Looks great. We could print it in a transfer and you would barely feel the difference.
Really?
Because there's no thick outline. All the letters are separated. It still moves. If it was all connected, you would know the difference. Like if it was all one big square.
So if you're doing it on a film, does that mean that in between where there is no ink, there'd be no film?
The film's still there. The ink just doesn't touch. So when it transfers to the shirt, it feels much lighter. If I printed that shirt, you wouldn't. It would feel retail quality to you.
Okay, so then I'm going to send you an artwork. You'll do one, and I'll just to see.
Perfect.
Well, and it's not a rush thing, by the way, so you don't have to turn the shop.
A rush.
No, you see, no. I always say to people, when do you really need it? Because everyone says, can I get it Friday for 4? I'm like, are you using it on the weekend? No, but we want it here.
Absolutely, right?
So I'm like, could I bring it to you on Monday because it's easier, right? What so what recommendations would you make to people who want to get into your business, aside from don't? But after that,
recommendations if they want to get into the print industry or the apparel. Coming from the commercial side, is that most of your?
No, coming from anywhere, because even if you're coming from the commercial side, it's not relevant.
Sure. You can start inexpensively in our industry now with the direct-to-film transfers and things like that. And I would say try before you buy. And what I mean is a lot of people sell transfers. And you can buy heat presses, and you can get into a business in comparison for very low costs of entry compared to a screen printing or a commercial printing industry. You can really test the waters fairly inexpensively, under $20,000. But you can do it even much smaller if you want, but I would suggest to at least buy some decent equipment getting started. And how you make it, even if you're not making it yourself, the customer is the most important aspect of that business decision. Do you have people that want to buy product X, or that would want to buy the product from you already in your network? The answer is yes. Pretty simple. The answer is no. Okay, what's your plan to go talk to those people? So that's probably the bigger decision than how do you get into it by getting equipment or transfers.
Yeah. Well, listen, we were chatting before, but if I talk about print on the old world, the commercial print, there are a lot of printers out there that aren't so smart. They go out and buy equipment, which is okay, and I like to buy equipment, but a lot of them spend big money on equipment and don't do their homework prior. And I don't know in any business how you're going to spend $500,000, $1 million, $2 or $3 million and not plan or market or discuss your marketing and know your plan before you get it.
Yeah, that's
And then they get it, and then they're panicking
yep.
because
How are we gonna pay
you get 2 months free, and then boy, do those 30 days come around quickly after that.
that is the complete wrong approach to take to this industry. And I agree completely with you. But people, by nature, in our industry, think that people that have the biggest presses or the newest this or the newest that are the most successful. I just look at it like they have the biggest debt to pay off. That doesn't mean they're profitable by having $100,000 X machine or $200,000 Y machine. It doesn't matter. Are you profitable in what you're doing is what matters.
Yeah, and I mean, and also there's enough people out there that plenty of people that be happy to have your business, even knowing you're looking to build it and maybe doing it yourself because they'll take what they can in the short term. And even when you do that, you sometimes have the opportunity to make really good relations with them where it's not even worth going to buy, right? Because it's not just the machine. It's the machine. It's the place to house it. It's the person to operate it. It's everything that goes along with making the product after.
Yeah, there's a reason there are sublimation factories posted all over the United States because not everybody can do cut and sew well. And there's partners for that, right? You can still sell it, but you don't have to do it.
Well, there's
And that
like
can be done with any part of our industry.
there's people who just do specific things, which is easier. Like when I was printing, we had trade bindery houses. Why buy a die cutter when the guy has four? If I had one, I still couldn't produce it as fast as him with his four.
Exactly.
Right? I'd be stuck regardless of it. But yeah, I was very interested in walking around Printing United and talking to all the people. I'm still in awe of how
What did
big.
you think about the energy there?
Oh, so I don't know if you saw this morning. Well, by the time this gets posted, it might be a week or two ago. But I posted my top 10 uh, good things, from Printing United. And number one, and this is the only way I know to rate a show, is I left not having seen and spoken to all the people that I wanted to. Right? And when I called them after just to say, like, hey, were you there? Even though I knew they were. And they're like, yeah, where were you? I said, I was in the other aisle. Didn't make it to you. And they were like, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to talk to you anyways because I was talking to real customers.
Yep.
So comments from a bunch of people were like, print is back show-wise. A lot of people prior were talking previous couple of years about shows being bad. And number one, I don't listen to those people anyways. There was a few elders who said to me, well, what do you think about the traffic? And I'm like, what kind of question is that? How many good conversations have you had with people is what I want to know. Right?
Yeah.
But it's the same guy who says, can I scan your badge? And I'm like, no, because I'm never going to buy anything from you. So why do you need to have me as a lead?
Yep.
Like, I don't understand all of that stuff, right? Maybe I'm backwards, but
they're hitting quotas.
I don't understand quotas because I want real stuff. How many people did you talk to? How many people can you follow up with? Right? Tire kickers don't count for me ever, but I guess big companies, the marketing person has to justify the leads to get the budget.
Yeah. And I thought it was complete energy, like excitement, energy at a high. People were looking to buy. They were asking the right questions. I had plenty of introductions. I myself was not looking to buy anything at the show, but I was showing people I knew, introducing them to people that had equipment that they were asking me about. That was no benefit to me at that show, right? But it was important to the person that needed my help, and it was important to my vendor who I also have equipment from. So when it comes time down the road, hey, this guy brought us in 30 machines at the last trade show, or let's take care of him, or let's do this, right? And connections and conversations and where the future's going and the AI stuff was just mind blowing.
Yeah. Well, the relationship building is key, be it with your customer or your vendor, right?
Hmm.
Because that's what makes everything go around. The AI stuff, I mean, there is so much AI stuff out there that even the people that are heavily in AI can't keep up with what's happening daily. So for the
Nope.
rest of us, like someone was telling me this morning, like, I got to do this, I got to do that. I said, stop. I said, you're already getting ahead of yourself. Just one thing at a time, pick a topic, deal with it. You can't do it all. And it's a little bit like .com because a lot of these AI companies will disappear as time goes on,
Yeah.
right? The strong will
Uh,
survive, the weak will
they almost
fall.
they look like the early DTF companies too that have popped up and come and gone. They people get consolidated. They build something. They get a customer base. They get bought out. They get merged into another tool. Um, you're seeing that everywhere already. We're on phase 2 of AI.
Yeah, well, every 6 months there's another phase, if not sooner, right? Well, actually, talking about the show, I did love. You said you were taking people places and introducing them to places. I had the same thing happen to me. Usually, I'm the guy doing that, and as I'm lurking around the apparel zone, uh, popping up and just asking people questions, people could not have been kinder. Folks that have been at it in a long time were like taking me by my hand, introducing me to this person, that person. And I said to one guy, I said, like, you're giving me goosebumps. You're so kind. Right. And I said, just so you know, I said, you made my day. And he's like, actually, you just made my day. And if we had more of that in the world, how good would everybody's days be?
Right. That's I think there was a lot of that positive energy at the show, where willingness to help, willingness to introduce, willingness to listen to other people and their thoughts and what they want to do or what they hope to do, or whether it be suppliers, buyers, people associated with the alliance, anything, right? Everyone has a different outlook or opinion, and just hearing all that was invaluable.
Oh, there's so much to take it. The other thing I like two other things at the show that were good this year. I like the setup because it was one big rectangular room. I don't like when you have to change floors or change rooms because I never get back to where I want to go. Not that got around to everywhere I wanted to go this time. And surprisingly, the food was actually better.
Yes, they had all the food options from all the different vendors. You could it was like you could get any flavor you wanted, and it didn't taste like a burnt hot dog.
Well, so I said in my video this morning, I had like a Korean barbecue as opposed to the original plastic hot dogs I always have.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was pretty good. Actually, the days were so busy, I don't even think I had lunch one of the days. Like I only realized at the end, and you just had to eat something quick so you could have a drink at the end of the day.
Put a little base down, just a
Yeah,
little one.
no shortage of that stuff there, right? So any crazy stories from your side of the business with customers or walking in and wanting 5,000 t-shirts at the last minute or for an event? Because events are always a problem.
Yeah, so I mean, we just while we were at the show, uh, one of we kind of do some hot market stuff, right? And we had six local teams all win a section or a regional championship on a Friday. We worked with our apparel vendor Samar in advance of this event. We launched the store Friday. We shut it down Monday morning. We brought every garment in, printed it, and bagged it, and had them out by Tuesday afternoon. We didn't order until Monday morning. And so we did 6 entire online store pop-ups in a 4-day span, from selling to print to delivering, just this Monday after printing United.
Like how many units?
I want to say it was somewhere in the 800 unit range of all individual customization on shirts.
So 800 different designs, basically.
Yep.
Wow.
So it was just, and everything was printed, individually packaged by customer order, boxed back up, and then we actually sent our people out with cars to get it to them quicker. We didn't even UPS it.
Well, UPS, if it really has to get there, don't ship it UPS, right? That's why they're brown. But That's my experience. That's a lot of orders to get out.
Yeah, and it went extremely smooth. My team owned it. We were prepared for it. Sandmar partnered with us to knock it out of the park on the delivery, and it went. It couldn't have went better. But that's just some of the things we're seeing that are really elevating what we offer, how we offer things to our customers.
So when you're doing a job like or jobs like that, what's the potential errors that might occur? And when you have errors doing what you do they go far and long within a job, or are they like short because they're in, smaller, or is it
So
defects? I don't know.
potential errors are uh, where we receive the wrong garments or something purchased doesn't come in right. That order was perfect. Another potential error could be misprints, banding in the prints, damaged transfers for some reason. That order was perfect. When I say it went as smooth as it could, there was a 0% error rate across those 6 stores
Wow,
in a 24-hour turn.
that's
So
doesn't get better than that.
no, it was pretty. It was very well handled. Our team did an amazing job on that order.
Wow. In your experience, what's the return rate for defects on printed garments?
So across our web stores in general, we're less than 2%. Whether it's our fault or there's a hole in the garment or something like that we didn't catch, less than 2%, which is our industry-wide standard. I want to say is 3%. So we're at about a 2% here.
And are customers accommodating, mean when they have defects or problems?
The biggest problem we see is when customers say they didn't order that size, and it's absolutely 100% they just clicked the wrong product. They clicked an adult instead of a kid's. They can get mean because they're getting defensive when it deals with their child and their child doesn't have something and it's their mistake, but they want to put it on somebody else. I get it. Parent mode comes out, right? No, that wasn't my fault. In that case, you either get a little sympathetic and you help this parent solve a solution quickly, or you leave them out to dry and then they really drag you through the fire. We try to go the sympathetic route. Everybody here is part of somebody's family. So we act like if we can take care of them or help them get something at a discounted rate on a return, we try to do that.
So I'm wondering, just because now I'm doing these, I've got this t-shirt shop, the printwhisper.shop, for anyone who wasn't listening before, and I want to make sure you heard about it. Like everything's great when it's great, and then I'm thinking, wow, on my site it says no returns unless there's a quality issue because they're custom made and you're picking the size. You're doing all of that. Right. But that's me. When I buy something at the store and there's a problem, I don't complain. I just don't go back. I go back to the store. I don't go to return it. I'll give it to someone because I'm just not a returner.
Yeah.
I think that falls under lazy. But I'm thinking that if someone calls with an issue with a t-shirt, it's just easier to just have a new one printed and send it out and burn the other one or keep it because there's cost associated with sending it back and forth.
What's the cost of a negative review worth versus the cost of a pre-printed t-shirt? And
right. I'm not even thinking review. I'm just thinking heartache of my own. Just print it, send it out. And if they send it back, you're going to pay or whatever. And what do you do with it?
It's not worth to get it back.
It's not worth to get it back. Yeah.
We actually tell a lot of people to donate this stuff. If they get the wrong size, please donate it to a kid or family in your team or organization or to a charity that could use it.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's a goodwill. It's not only we're replacing it, it's a goodwill gesture at the end of it.
Yeah, no, and that actually is going to work. I'm going to use that one because like at the beginning I said on my site, I'm donating 10% of the profits to kids. So I don't want them in any way to miss out on anything or suffer. So if I don't get the few dollars on the shirt and someone gives the shirt to a charity, I guess it's still a win-win. But it's always interesting to see. Like I'm just as I start to go, I'm waiting to see what to deal with everyone, to respond to everyone, and how to keep your cool with a lot of people. Because when I go into the retail store and I see some of these customers coming in and returning things after however long or whatever their story, I just go like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I don't even know how some people have the nerve to say some of the things they say when they want to return something.
I'm with you.
Right?
I don't even want to comment on that. It irks me so bad.
Yeah, no, I don't I don't get it. Are there changes coming, or what do you see happening within the apparel decorating industry?
I would say this to any manufacturing. There's absolutely changes coming. There's technological changes. There's AI being introduced to software, right? There's training aids. There's things to speed it up. If you saw on the show floor at Printing United, there was robots doing things.
Love those things.
There's robots.
If you're an owner, no sick days. Everything's loaded exactly the same way all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I want to get rid of people, but there's something as an owner to say about not having headaches and people whining and complaining about having to do things.
It's I don't believe that robotics are in the apparel industry are a year away. They're a little further than that because there's, for example, you pick up a T-shirt. Well, you pick up this T-shirt, it's an adult extra large. But if I go to pick up my kid's T-shirt, it's a 5T. So this little bit in robotics is a big difference. And there's a ways to go versus picking up one piece of something that's the same size every time. And there's 100,000 SKUs of garments and sizes. So it's a little ways there versus picking up a 4x8 sheet of coroplast.
Right? Well, I mean, a robotic arm is, what is it? It's a couple $100,000 for the heavy duty ones anyway. So you've got to be doing a lot of T-shirts before you design a robotic arm to help you out. Yeah,
exactly. They had a heat press there from Rock, the Rock Impress. A human puts it on, a suction cup drops the print on, it presses it, a thing peels the print off, it presses it again, and then these claws go up, pick it, and put it on a belt to take it away. So Amazing. It has taken some of the human element out of that job. One of the when they first introduced that thing, there was 3 humans working on it on the first iteration at the trade show. Now Rock has it where they're running 1 human on it, right? So you're going to start to see more of that.
And that's a shitty job, by the way, too. So it's not like a good job is being eliminated.
It's a repetitive job.
Right.
It's not, I wouldn't say it's hard or difficult.
Repetitive and tedious becomes tough after a while, right? So here the machine has no feeling, so he just keeps going.
Exactly.
But so that was cool.
That's down the line. You're seeing mergers across the industry. In our world, the 2 biggest e-commerce providers, Inktovo and Order My Gear, merged at the show. They announced the day of the show launch that the front-end web stores that most of the decorated apparel industry use are now going under one house.
How big was Inktovo?
Inktovo. It was a 4 company. It was a company called Sign Tracker, Printovo, Inksoft, and a graphics company merged with Order My Gear and Bright Stores, which were the 2 on the other side. And they were more on the promotional side and team store side of gathering. So they're now, all these products are going under one roof of one parent company. So, and this past year, we just saw Alpha Broder merge with FNS Activewear, which was huge in the supplier side of it. So now there's really only 2 big suppliers.
And like on the Inkvato side, with those guys merging, how are the customers affected?
So most customers had both accounts, I would assume, depending on where they were at. Some didn't. the transition was Alpha Brothers here until this date, and after this date, you have to order everything from SNS Activewear. So it wasn't a super difficult. I feel like they actually did a pretty good job of minimizing disruption while doing it. And but there's one less person you can price check on to see what price you can buy something at now. There's only two big players.
Is that so bad?
No, I don't think it's bad or good. I think it's just what it is.
No, when I say when you said there's only two players to price check, I'm thinking, who cares? When I was buying a lot of paper, and people were, I don't know, whatever, paper was $1 a pound, and someone, well, this other company's at 70 cents a pound. I'm like, get rid of them. If we're all buying paper at $1 a pound and putting on our markup, we're making more money on $1 than we are on 70 cents. So who cares?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to protect the end user to make sure that they're getting a price point. If we all have the same numbers to deal with, and we all want to make roughly the same margin, then that's what the customer has to pay.
Yep.
And the customer, by the way, the customer never argues when a can of Coke is $1 at General Dollar Store, or it's $6 at the bar, right? The bar restaurant where they're watching the football game.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they beating up the old printer for?
It's just the way it's always been, right?
Well, who says it has to stay that way? I'm sick of it.
I'm with you.
Let's make that change, right? And it's not about greed. It's about getting paid rightfully so for the investment you're making in doing this.
You just gotta be careful. Some people might call that collusion.
Well, what do the oil companies call it when they're on four corners and they're all the same price and one goes up and they all go up?
They don't call it anything. They just call it price rates.
They don't call it anything. No, we have the same thing in Canada. No collusion, but all the main players of certain niches all have the same price increase. And is one not want to pick up market share by being a little less? No. I don't know. I think everyone's just out to beat us up for no reason. And I want to fight it because the truth is, and I'm going to make a t-shirt that says it. I have one, actually. The world can't live without print. Everything we do helps somebody else make money, do business, and grow. Everything.
A true statement.
Right? And what do they do for us? Aggravation, angst, headaches, and late payments.
Yeah. You change your workflow around a little bit. You solve some of those problems.
Yeah, smaller customers are easier to get and pay on a credit card because you're talking them into the points they're going to get and take their family on vacation. Right? You just have to get creative on the different ways that you channel the extras. But that's part of being a business owner, right? Find a way to get some of those perks.
Exactly.
But it's cool. But yeah, wow, interesting. We're going to have more conversations because this is, I'm learning as I go, and I'm fascinated, actually, to be honest. And I thought I knew a lot of stuff. And I used to, like I said, bought a lot of t-shirts, but whole different ballgame.
It's a different world now. That's for sure.
Even with the store I just did, I've got like 20 more t-shirts because I just bought a whole bunch of samples, and I have to redo my closet now because now I have 240 t-shirts and growing quickly.
You know where to donate some.
You know what the problem is? I had more. Those were my favorites. I tried to get rid of some, and I have the 10 that I wear and then put them underneath and wear another 10 for the next week. But that's hard to give up.
I do a seasonal sweep because I myself get a lot of t-shirts. Being in the industry I am in, every quarter I will take out and donate barely worn apparel to different organizations just because I know I'm refilling it right behind it. Just by the nature of the industry we're in.
It's hard to give up a good fishing t-shirt with a fish or slogan on it, or especially the ones that you wear and the holes are starting because now they just fit your body right.
Yep, exactly.
So it's all good. Anyways, cool. So we're going to cut this short now, and over that, whatever. Anything you want to let our listeners know before we go?
I just appreciate you being a voice for the industry. You bring a energy that is
Say again, you
seen
stalled
nowhere else.
there.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I got to do some editing. Shit, it stalled, but that's okay.
At least it's at the end.
It's up, yeah.
I was just saying, I appreciate you having me on and being such an energetic voice for the industry, bringing a different perspective. It was great having you as part of the Printing United All Star team because you really stirred the pot across all that group of Type A personalities and got everybody in complete different worlds, really enjoying each other's company. So thank you for that one.
Pleasure's mine. Listen, I just really think in life, everyone's got to laugh and laugh hard. We're on the planet for a short time. Always be kind, always be respectful. Don't apologize for anything you do that you think is right. And you shouldn't have to if you're being kind and respectful all the time. Right. And I appreciate the comments on promoting the industry. I'm pretty proud and pretty excited with what I do because I think I could be one of the only people on the print ownership side that speaks out, thinking on our behalf, right? And I have nothing against anyone. I just want to make sure always that every print owner, regardless of their industry, is making the best decisions that take him or her the farthest. Because when we make decisions, they stay with us for 5 to 6 years.
That's so true.
And things change faster than that now. So your thinking has to be even better to stay in time, in tune with what's going on and the changeovers of things and how things will last. So anyways, I thank you for those comments. And I can't help it. I just love what I love and do what I do. And, like I tell everyone, the one thing I've learned over all these years in print is to wear smaller shoes because they're easier to get out of my mouth when they get stuck.
I love it.
Right. On that note, we're going to say goodbye. I'm going to thank everybody who listened for listening. Please come back, listen again. Again, if anybody knows anyone who should be on, let me know. If you want to be on, let me know. If you want to tell me something but don't want to be on, let me know. Otherwise, that's it. Warren Werbitt, printing's alive, and I love print. And Davis, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, Warren.